Yeah, back to that one. Let's do that first, because we want to really hit the how-to stuff. We get all the philosophy we want. I'm happy to do that, but I want you to leave here knowing how to do stuff, whether you do or not. There are basically two processes for processing seed: wet process and dry process. By far the most common is the dry process. And it just happens. Remember in the beginning I was telling you about the importance of sex and seed? Every seed is the densest part of its respective plant. The dried leaves, the dried stems, the dried roots, all of those things, they may be heavier than the seed, but they're not denser than the seed. Okay? Even those few things that seem to be very light and fluffy, like parsnip seed, the actual seed is denser than anything else. It just is not aerodynamically, it's a little scale on it, okay? But it's the densest part. And the reason why, again, is because Mother Nature has packed so much into that. Every seed, we sometimes talk about the stories that go with seeds, but in fact, every seed is a story. Every seed has in its gene it's like a combination of the operator's manual and the family Bible. It has in its genes the record of everything that has happened to that plant since the beginning of life. Every challenge it has met, every failure, every success, every advantage it's had, every struggle it's had, every crisis. It's all written in there in 4 letters: A, C, G, T. The 4 amino acids that make up DNA. It's an incredible, and so if you're going to have such an elaborate book as this incredible, chronicle of time written in 4 letters, it's going to be either an incredibly huge book that's going to be the size of an elephant, or it's going to be incredibly dense. All this DNA is all curled up there into an incredibly dense thing. Not surprising, therefore, that the seed, particularly the germ, is the densest part of every plant. Well, that's very helpful for us if we're cleaning the seeds. That's when this becomes very important, aside from the genetics of it. And so, as I was saying, the seed is always the densest part of the plant. Therefore, with most seeds, the cleaning strategy is some variation of threshing it, like rubbing it, crumbling it, breaking it all up, the leaves, the stems, and the pods and everything, crumbling it all up, and then winnowing it, blowing the stuff away. And we'll take a second to do this, if I'll do it while I'm talking. I'm not very good at multitasking, but I will tell you this. I usually can't walk and chew gum at the same time. And then we'll get to the wet process. There's only wet process basically applies to tomatoes, as you mentioned, and cucumbers. There's some other things that can be wet processed, but don't need to be, I think generally are better not to. This is a variety of poppy, which is totally illegal, by the way. It's a bread seed poppy, which is basically an opium poppy. We're all breaking the law here, being in my presence. But this is a particular variety called Červený Ziar. It's from a village in Slovakia called Žár. It looks like Ziar, but Žár. And it's a particularly nice variety because a lot of poppies, particularly wild poppies, they are what we call dehiscent. Up here at the top of it, there's little windows that open up as it's ripening. And this is very good for dispersing the seeds. When it falls, they all shattering all over the place. If you're cultivating, you'd kind of rather they didn't shatter too soon until you're ready for them. So you like a variety that wasn't dehiscent. This one is not dehiscent. The windows stay closed, which is very nice. And this variety also it's been selected for a very nice large pod size. And I've selected the Žár variety also for flower color. The original Žár, which I got from a friend over in New Brunswick. I know New Brunswick, Canada, but I just came from New Jersey, where you have to explain what you mean by New Brunswick. Anyway, I brought this from his homeland of Slovakia, and the original Žár variety is kind of a wimpy grayish purple, not a particularly pretty, I don't think, off-white. But I discovered among them certain percentage of kind of a magenta, light magenta flowers, and I saved those, and some of them gave me a darker. So I've gotten a dark, pinkish red, purplish magenta flower. So I'm growing these to eat. But I want them. Why can't I'm going to eat them in 5 minutes, but I'm going to look at them every day. So why can't they be wicked pretty? Okay. And I used to be an artist, and I don't do that anymore. And sometimes people say, "How come you don't do any drawing, painting anymore?" And I said, "Well, I haven't given up art. It's just that I now have 85 acres of canvas to work on, and sculpting and stuff. I've got so when I do my gardens, I think you talk about companioning and stuff. I don't just think about which things grow well together. Do they also look together? Again. I'm gonna eat them once, but I'm gonna look at them every day. So they better be wicked cunning. I want to do what I can to. I think a lot about what does the Chinese have a word for it? feng shui or something. Is this terrace the right direction? Is this going to, stupid things that no one in the right mind, a commercial gardener would forget about that. Anyway, so this is a really cool variety. It's already shattered a good bit. I probably had a couple of pods broke and stuff. I put some seed in the bottom of it. But this is what we do. I usually put them all in a big bowl and smash them all, but right now I'm just going to do them like that, like Christmas tree ornaments, except I don't end up with a handful of glass shards. Then once I've done that, I don't have a sieve with me. I don't know if there's anything in the kitchen, but we'll just make do. Okay. I think these are 2-year-old pods, I think, that I keep basically. Then I do a lot of this with them, okay? And again, the seeds are going to the bottom, and so if we were outdoors or if this weren't a nice polished floor, I would just put them in front of a fan or something and get them really clean. But I'll just do what I can here. This is what I've got. Okay, so I'm basically pulling off the stuff in the broken pods. I'm being a little careful. I'm sifting, shaking them a little bit. I'm leaving pods behind and I'm getting some seeds in here, but I'm getting a very rough cleaning here. Okay, to get the rest of the crap out of here, I would take it outside and just blow it. And that stuff will come out really clean. And I've got these dense little blue-black seeds here. Then what I usually do is take these, because I'm such a miser, I don't want to lose a single one. Do some more, maybe break them up a little more. Get a second little batch out and put them together and then blow them. It is, folks, pretty much that simple. Threshing and winnowing. Whether you do